Alright guys, today we're going to talk about how many Holochain needed in order to have $1 million hot portfolio or $1 million Holochain portfolio. So we're really going to talk about the required Holochain or hot that you need. So this idea for this video really came from this other video that I did, which is required ETH, required Ethereum. If you haven't checked that out yet, check that out because Ethereum is something that I'm buying on the regular and you should be too, to really stay ahead of the other majority of the people who are not in crypto yet. So after looking at that, I'm like, this might be a good idea. Aside from getting me off the van life rabbit hole that I've been watching on YouTube, if you are watching that too on YouTube, let me down below. Have you actually converted a van? Because with everything that's going on, I'm really thinking about it, just getting away from rent and then just putting more of that money into crypto. And the fact that you can travel on wheels, your house is on wheels, it's not on the bedrock. So when you need to escape from the government, you can do that. So I'm filming this video on Sunday, March 27th. So it has been a great day for Holochain. It's up literally more than 20%, almost 30% now. We're gonna take a look at the charts and then we're gonna talk about my love-hate relationship with Holochain. In addition, we're gonna reverse engineer, actually talk about how many Holochain tokens that you require and reverse engineer that to see what your profit could potentially be when you make $1 million with Holochain. So other than that, please be sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and once you've done that, let's get into the video. So guys, I'm on Twitter and I'm looking for news. There's no really major news that I'm seeing for what's happening with Holochain right now. And what's happening with Holochain, guys, it is up more than 30% right now. So it is flying. Today is a great day for Holochain. Actually, this past week has been a great day for Holochain. If you take a look at the ruler from where we were on March 13th, where we were at the bottom here, people were like, what the hell is happening with Holochain? To here right now where we are today, that is an 82% growth, 83%. Let's just round that up because a couple 0.2% doesn't make any difference with how much it's growing right now. So I want to say don't FOMO into this, right? Because this is just people chasing after price. You do not want to be the person chasing after price. And I drew this Fibonacci here to see how things are going to work. We're still looking at the 0.5 of a retracement. So basically what happened is throughout these past couple days, I mean, how many days has it been? Let's get back our ruler here and go here. So it's been like 14 days. So over this past 2 weeks, what's happened? So we climbed over here on like 3 days ago because right now it's the 27th. We climbed back into the 618. 618 formed a support here, because 2 days later, which was yesterday, 26, it was tipping. We were like wondering, are we going to go back down or are we going to stay here and do a rally-based rally, which means that we go back up, and we stayed. And we saw that as support here, right? Because this acted as resistance before. So this was an interesting price point before because it also acted as support here, acted as support there. So we're basically replaying what's happening here. Holy crap, I didn't even see that until I show you this now. It's replaying what's happening here, and look at this graph. How similar is what's happened here today to what's happening here? So from here, it just flew all the way to the top. So I have a feeling that we're just gonna run from here. And look at this compared to the entire market. No other token that I have on my list here is showing double digits. I mean, 38%. We've been here for like 5 seconds and it's already a 10% rise from that. So things are crazy. I don't know what's happening with Holochain. Don't chase the price. Wait for the retrace to get back in if you are FOMOing because you don't want to buy the highs and sell the lows. That is never what you want to do. But take a look at this. All of these cryptos, these top 100 cryptos that are always on the news, they're doing 1-digit gains. Well, Holochain is almost up 40%, guys. So this is insane. Hold on to your hats because we are going to the moon. So guys, here's your technical analysis. If you want to learn where I learned how to chart, then you can check out IM Academy in the description or the pinned comment below, or you can even set up a call with me to ask more, to learn more about IM Academy, because through IM Academy, that is where I learned to chart like how I showed you. So instead of waiting for me to pump out another video for your favorite cryptos, you can just learn and do it yourself because there's no guarantee that I'm gonna always hit on the crypto and do your technical analysis for you. So other than that, let's talk about my love-hate relationship with Holochain. So guys, I don't exactly remember when I bought Holochain or hot token. I remember that I bought it when I was really relatively new to cryptocurrencies, and I bought it at the highs. And I thought I tracked it on Blockfolio, which is now the FTX app, but I guess I didn't because I don't see the numbers anymore. And if you need an app to track your buying prices, your average basis, your cost basis, then FTX app is a great app to do that. I'm not promoting them or anything. I just use the app to track all my purchases because Other apps that I've used, Coinbase doesn't give you good averages of your buys, nor does Gemini. Well, Gemini actually does, but FTX is just much nicer designed with its on mobile. So I'm gonna make a ballpark and say that I bought Holochain. My cost basis is 2.5 cents, which is much higher than the price that it is now, even with the 40% gain that I just showed you. And that was because I was a complete noob and didn't know that I was buying in at the all-time high, which is why it is really important to join a group or something like I Am Academy, so you know when you're buying in the high, when you're buying at the low, where the good prices are. I mean, we live and learn, and I learned from my mistakes. I learned about market cycles, which at that time when I bought HOT, I didn't know about market cycles. So that's why I bought at the high. But after learning about market cycles, I'm like, oh, so that was a mistake I did. So right now, my cost basis, 2.5 cents. I am still at a loss with Holochain, but I really think that if you're buying in now, then it is a good idea to, if you have $1,000, put 10% in, and every 2 weeks or every week, just put another 10% in, right? So that's dollar cost averaging. You're buying regardless of the price. But with the recent rise today that we see of a 40% gain, it looks like Holochain, HOT, the charts, it has ran a full market cycle. So it is ready to go back up again, which is really good news for those of us who bought in at the highs, right? But still, it still sucks to see where you bought in at the highs and watch it go all the way down only to ride it back up now again. It has been an emotional roller coaster for a lot of us. I'm still holding on to my bag and I'm still planning to dollar cost average as long as I can find some money in my bank account or wait for the next paycheck to come in so I can put more money into it, because crypto is the future. Now that we have talked about our love-hate relationship with Holochain, let's talk about the required Holochain for $1 million HOT portfolio. So I know what you're gonna say, because every time I do a video like this, one of you guys will say, how much will this project or Holochain be by 20XX or like 2026? I'm like, dude, I don't know. You gotta figure this out by yourself. And the way to figure this out is by using references, by looking at things like Amazon Web Services or the global computing services market, which Holochain is trying to replace. When I got started with this stuff, I was literally thinking, okay, how do I properly value this project? Well, how does other investors value new technologies? They use references. And let me tell you a secret. There's a lot of difference between innovation and invention. And the thing is that there's not a lot of inventions, but there are a lot of innovations. Think about it. Think about Facebook. What did early investors use to value Facebook? Well, they used MySpace. What did early investors use to value Uber? They used taxi industry. What did they use to value Airbnb? Hotels, DoorDash, delivery industry. That's how they value things. So what's the best example for Holochain? Well, that's the hosting market. And more specifically, services or competitors like Amazon Web Services. Alright guys, so over here in Statista, we can see the annual revenue of Amazon Web Services from 2013 to 2021 in millions of US dollars. So this year in 2020, Amazon made about $45 billion. Here in 2021, they made $62 billion. Thanks pandemic, right? So what we can draw from this is, well, we got to look at the cloud services market total. So the cloud services, the global cloud computing market value was valued at $368.97 billion, which is exactly what they say here. So we can basically just round that up to 370 billion. Let's do that for easy calculation. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our 370 billion as an extrapolation to help us with our calculation. So that's the goal with Holochain, right? So Holochain, close that. Holochain has this much supply, about 177.6 billion, and we're going to use that in our calculation. So let's say that Holochain takes half the market, which is $185 billion. Well, $185 billion divided by that total, 177 billion tokens, make a fair market value of $1.04 per Holochain in the future, if they take half of that. But remember, that is not exactly true because that is using present day numbers. In the future, years later, I am expecting that this cloud computing market size is not going to be 370 billion. It could probably be $2 trillion. So that's what we're looking at, guys. So the question now is, should I do it? Should you do it? So we have HOT being at $1.04. That is what our projection is, but we're just going to use $1 for easy calculation. So that means that in order to have $1 million HOT portfolio, you need a million hot tokens. But I think if you want to invest in something, especially with Holochain, because it is so new and people aren't used to that idea yet, you have to ask yourself these questions. Do I believe in Holochain? Do I believe that Holochain will replace Amazon Web Services and all the other cloud computing services like Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, etc.? Mind you, I've always told you that Holochain is a high risk play just because it takes people to get used to it. And their marketing kind of just sucks. But surprisingly, the YouTube algorithm really does like Holochain videos. So right now, I really hope you can comment down below to help the YouTube algorithm by commenting Holochain and liking and subscribing this video. Also, if you're new to Holochain and you want to know the ins and outs of Holochain, I made a full Holochain guide here, so go ahead and check that out after you finish this video. I know that when I got into HOT, it was around 2.5 cents, so I got in at the highs. I really wish that I could get in around now, which is between 0.004 and 0.007 cents, because that is a much better buy, right? Obviously. But now that it's here, the problem is always, do I still believe in Holochain? Do I still believe it's gonna go where it intends to go? Do I believe that the market will adopt Holochain? Those are the questions you really have to ask yourself, and the only person that can answer those questions is you. And I'll tell you this, it affects me too, you know? When things are booming, you just have that fear of missing out. And when things are falling, like a falling knife, you have that huge fear of loss that things will turn worse than it already is, which basically leads to you buying at the highs and selling at the lows, which is what you never want to do, because that is the formula for losing money. So like I said again, Holochain is still a high risk bet, but it is much more solid of a project than what I consider from ApeCoin. So for you, not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, please do your own due diligence and research before investing in anything risky like Holochain or other cryptos, but be willing to bet what you're willing to lose when it comes to projects like Holochain. Anyways guys, I hope you got some value from today's video. I hope you learned how to reverse engineer the required ETH that you need in order to get $1 million hot portfolio and what your profit would be based on your cost basis. Other than that, if you don't mind, can you please help this video, help this channel by smashing the like button, smashing the subscribe button, checking out these other videos on cryptocurrencies and passive income. And remember guys, continue working, continue building, continue inspiring. See you next time.